The Apostle Paul's experience was a masterclass in faith and a wonderful example for us all today. And it's part of the experience of every believer and every true Christian today. For God's mystery among the Gentiles is Christ in us, the hope of glory. Once upon a time, Satan lived, ruled and reigned in us. The Antichrist spirit was within us. But the strong man armed has been conquered and ejected by something far greater. He can't devour us anymore. He can annoy us, but he can't destroy us. He can tempt us, but he can't make us do what he wants. Messiah has entered and taken possession of your temple, of you. He is acknowledged as the lawful sovereign ruler in your heart. He's put his laws into our hearts, in our minds, and has written them. Day and night we cry out, Our Father, because he's in us. And this is how we know he's in us, because he's on our mind night and day, 24/7. Nothing else will do. It is this that rules our lives. Many justify or condemn our conduct, and conscience is influenced by them, appeals to them, and decides according to their requirements. Christ lives in our hearts. It's his home, his palace, his temple, his kingdom. There he resides, reigns, and is worshipped to the glory of the Father. The heart worships him. We cannot just say that he lives in us, for he will not enter in any character but that of a king, or for any purpose but to rule. Happy is the heart where Messiah reigns, where Jesus is worshipped. Have we got this happiness? Have we all examined ourselves to recognize Messiah dwelling in us? Does he live in our thoughts, daily, hourly? Whatever thing I forget, we cannot forget Jesus. He's engraved on our memory, on our hearts, into the very core of our being, and so him in us, and us in him, as one in union. We think of him with pleasure and satisfaction, and only good thoughts are of Jesus. And you never grow weary of thinking about him, and what we might learn or discover or find out about him and about the work in us that he's doing. We adore him and his shed blood, and we trust in it, in his shed blood. We trust in his righteousness, and we desire for his righteousness to be found in us. And we stand on his name in everything we do. And thus we become conquerors in everything we do, because he is in us. Greater that is in you, that is in the world. So we enjoy thinking of Messiah as God. As a king, as a ruling king, what he did, what he said, what he suffered, and what he promised, and what he endured. And it wasn't all for nothing, it was all for a purpose, for our purpose, so that the Father might be glorified in us and through us, and so we glorify the Father for what he has done. And we remember his first coming, the atonement for sin, and the second coming to glorify his people, the hope of glory. He is our desire. Not bigger houses or cars or lots of money. He is our desire. To fellowship, to walk, to talk, to know, to run after, to search for. That is the very essence of what we do in our lives. And we have to acknowledge and realize Messiah in us. And if we desire any knowledge, it has to be knowledge about the Messiah. And make no bones about it, he's an all-consuming fire, and probably as many of our family can testify that. As we have that, it's like a compulsive behaviour towards him. Every thought, action, deed, motive is for him and about him, and we can't help ourselves, and we don't make any apologies for that. This is what we wanted, this is what we dreamed of, to live a life like this for him and in him, through him, and for his glory. And in our darkest nights we desire, we cry out for him. In the brightest day we'll glorify him. And in the bed of pain our soul cries out. In health and in prosperity there's still a craving for Jesus, for him, and that desire to know him more of him, more of him. We can never get enough. This is how we know if Christ is in us. Because you wouldn't have that desire like that. And it's all about him and for him. And the desire to be one with him, just to know that we're accepted by him, and just to know, like little children always looking for their parents to accept them, we're the same way towards God. We want to be accepted by him, just to feel his tender compassion, to say, look, everything's alright regardless of what you do, you're one of mine forever. And yes, we do love him, we have a true love for him, and it's a separate kind of love that you have for a human being, and it's an indescribable thing as well. And for many years I used to worry about that I didn't love him, but it isn't about a feeling, it's a spiritual love, and a knowing that you are one with him, in union with him, and he in you, and nothing can separate that fuse together. And we love the brothers and sisters even though we don't know them. We don't know them intimately, but we love them as one of our own, as one of our family. Disagreements aside, they mean nothing because they go out the window. It's all vanity. All the words are vanity. It means nothing but to be in unity and love through Christ is what it's all about. We love his word, we love his written word. We love the things he said, the way he taught, the way he saved people, the way he healed people, and the clever way in which he brought people's true hearts to the fore to reveal their true motives. He was very clever, and it was a marvellous way in which he taught, and it was a way in which every single human being can understand. Apart from those who think they're higher up in knowledge, they can't understand it because it's so simple. and it's a marvellous thing to behold. So our aims and pursuits are in Him. We're aimed at His glory, to be glorified through us and in us, and not for our own selfish praise, to be praised by others. You know? And we long to be holy, because we know the Father loves holiness, and it's His desire for us to be holy. So as we strive on to be like Him, to exalt Him, we'll stumble along the way, but we'll keep getting up again and again and again to pick up that cross every day. And He doesn't require us to be in sackcloth and ashes. He just requires a sacrifice of praise and worship and mercy towards others and love. That's what He requires. Because we can't work for it. We can't earn it. But our heart's desire to be always for Him is what He wants for us. And it's a marvellous thing to behold. Paul's experience was marvellous and a great example for us all. How he recognised Messiah dwells in him. And so separating ourselves from the things of the world isn't so difficult when we have Messiah in us, because you have no desire for anything else. Yes, we have to eat. We have to eat and live. Of course we do. But the desires of the things of the world, which are being shown to us constantly, or fed into our minds and ears and eyes, we reject them. We refute them, because they don't bring the joy that Messiah within us, Christ in us, gives. Yeah, Paul's experience, it was a marvellous thing. Peace and love.